Hey, Rich, how you doing, man? Hey, listen, I wanted to go ahead and send this out. Just talk to you for a minute rather than send an email. I don't have the time to type all this out, and I don't want to bother you with a phone call. You're probably as busy as I am. But all right, so I got to tell you something. This setup with Watson, it was not a good idea to rush these people into this house. And I'm not complaining. I appreciate the work. I appreciate you. You've handled yourself beyond uh, exemplary. You've been real cool with the payments. You've been real cool with dealing with, what's the word? Dealing with unexpected contingencies like the filters and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate the relationship. I think we're going to do fine. But I got to tell you, yesterday was a tinderbox over at that house. Okay, I'm over there, with two guys doing punch list work that no other tenant I've ever dealt with would have bothered to put down on paper. They gave me a 70 item punch list, and I ended up doing about half of them. And because I always shield my customers like you from complications, you know, I was the one there telling them, no, we're not going to replace your dishwasher. No, we're not going to do this. No, we're not going to do that. They wanted to have matching faucets in the bathroom upstairs. And I had called them and said, look, you got a bad faucet. I can buy another cheapie like the one that's there, a $13 piece of crap that doesn't have a drain plug. Look at my cat. No. Um, or I can get you a nicer one, but I'm not going to do two of them because they cost $50, $54 actually. And I'm only charging you 75. We talked about that. So they were fine with it. When I called them from Home Depot, they said, we're fine, just get one, we're good. Then when I got that one in, they wanted to get a matching one. And I said, look, we talked about this already. So I had to tell him, no, Rich isn't going to do this. No, he's not going to do this. So again, I do this so you don't look like the bad guy. I take it and put it on myself. Rather than say Rich said no, Rich said no, Rich said no, Rich said no, I say it's not our protocol to replace something like this. Or after you've been here for a while, maybe we'll talk about doing this upgrade over here, over there. They said they plan on being there for 5 years plus. I said, well, maybe you can communicate that with Rich up the line, and maybe he'll do a couple things that give you a new sink, or because they wanted a new sink too. The sink there is not bad; it's just not new, you know. So anyway, I got to tell you, I don't know if they said anything to you. We ended up in the kitchen there yesterday. Probably the best way to put it was with elevated voices back and forth at each other. We weren't fighting or anything like that, but they expressed, and I said to them, look, I told Rich from day one that it was going to be tight trying to get ready by the first. And truly, based on your punch list, I needed just one more day here. I said, we worked all the way up through the holiday. We worked Saturday, we worked Monday, which my guys were not pleased with. And I told them I just didn't have time to do. And the things that were on their punch list was like the cover plate was missing a little screw. There's like 9 of those on the list. This room, that room, this room. And I had ordered some extras, which I got today from Amazon. They don't sell the little ones at Home Depot. Ordered those, the little screws for the switch covers. They sell the plug cover ones, but not the switch cover ones. So anyway, there was little things like that, and some of the stuff they put on, like half the stuff they put was really was really an irritant. So I'm in the house. They probably noticed I wasn't real jovial and happy about being there doing some of this stuff, and they were, And I said to her, she said something about 70 things. I said, look, you know what? I could go into any house in the valley that's up for rent and go through that house and come up with 70 things. It just depends on what your standard is. I said the next renter who might have rented this house might not have had a list at all because the house does look good. I mean, it was good. Her standard for maid service was through the roof. I thought my wife was picky. This lady, I mean, I had to get a magnifying glass to see the quote unquote food stuck in the microwave. I mean, there wasn't any. I found a little piece of candle wax inside there that probably came off one of the rags I was using because there was candle wax on one of the walls. So I had gotten that off. So that's all it was. But anyway, all that to say, um, yeah, it got a little bit tense yesterday for a minute. Now we're fine now. We talked at the end of the day. We talked, and they said, "Look, we would have been happy coming on the 7th or on the 15th or whatever, but Rich wanted us there by the 1st, and once we made a commitment, we had to be there by the 1st." So they kind of dumped it on you because I said, "Look, I just ran out of time. I didn't have time to do some of this stuff, you know." What was a couple other things that were legitimate that they had for me? One of the window locks upstairs didn't work. That's legitimate. I never knew it. I guess I should have opened and closed them all. I will from now on in the future. One of the other things they said were the blinds. We wiped them down, but they wanted them wiped down again. So that was a legitimate concern. Like I said, we were there on the last day just trying to get the house presentable, and so we didn't spend hours on the blinds, you know. But anyway, all that to say, um, everything's fine. They went down to Tucson today, or I'm sorry, up to Bullhead City to get another load. And when they come back, we're going to do the walkthrough, the final inspection, and there'll be some things on there that you'll look at and laugh. But everything that had to happen or should have happened in terms of their list did happen. It's done. The only thing I got to do when I go back there is take one more, one of the towel paper or toilet paper holders needs about 5 minutes work when they come back. Everything else on their list is done. They're happy. Um, so I'm going to send you an invoice for the extra work we did. If not today, tomorrow morning. It'll have everything that I put on there. You'll know we talked about. There's no surprises on there, and I'm just going to send it off, and you can take care of it. You know, and I appreciate you being so timely with the payments. I got to tell you, I got to confess. You probably know from talking to Bob that 2020 the hardship that came upon me because of COVID was pretty intense, and I actually borrowed a little bit of money from Bob. I paid him back, but um, uh, yeah, I went from having a 6-digit savings in 2 years down to almost nothing. You know, so I'm rebuilding that. I'm back online, but yeah, I appreciate you responding to my desire to get paid when I send invoices. Some people want to bicker and wait, and you know all that kind of stuff, and I appreciate that you haven't done that. I really do need to collect on the jobs as they get done, and I've never really been like that. I normally would send an invoice to you and put, you know, please pay within 30 days. That's how I normally handle invoices. I don't get a job done and slap an invoice on people 5 seconds later and demand payment like I kind of have with you. I appreciate your patience with me. I know it's been a little bit of a, maybe a little bit of a, um, I don't know the word to use, but it's probably been trying at times dealing with me. So I appreciate your patience. But anyway, everything's good at that house, you know, and your tenants are settling into reality that they're not going to have. I mean, the house is nice. They did admit that to me last night before I left. They said, you know, it really is a nice house, and for all the stuff on the list, I mean, you brought it together pretty quick for us. Hold on, Rich. Hello, Protect telemarketer. All right. So anyway, I'm going to get this off to you. Thanks for your time. I'll talk to you later. Like I said, I'll get that invoice off to you later. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the invoice, and you want to talk to me before you pay it, do so. I got no problem with that. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.